it's kind of like the levees in New Orleans. We keep reducing the amount of water that's coming into those levees, and the state keeps adding more, and eventually you lose ground. We have reduced $6 million. Is that right, Mr. Attorney, on your chart? I want everyone to see this because I think it's important when we talk about people expect tax relief. We've done our share, and I know people don't care because they don't understand if the taxes are coming from us or they're coming from the school system. But we can't keep giving every year if the state continues to add on top of more than what we're giving. We're losing ground, and it's just a matter of time that we're going to have to close down the county, and you're still going to be paying the same amount of taxes that you've always paid because the state keeps mandating that the school system raise the taxes. It's a wonderful thing, and this is not a people thing tonight, but it's a wonderful thing to sit in Tallahassee, and it makes me sick because I am a resident of this county and a native of this county. It makes me sick when we have state representatives who run campaigns on tax reform. We mandated that we cut taxes. No, what they did, they took away Santa Rosa County residents' revenue, made us cut taxes, then they added on state taxes on top of what we cut, like the chairman said tonight. So you see no tax relief, and it's going to continue to go that way. It's going to continue every year as long as we have the state representatives in Tallahassee that we have, and we have the governor in Tallahassee that we have, who misleads people, plain and simple. Let's go back, and I don't want to drag this out too far, but the chart shows it. The blue on the chart, that's your school taxes. It's vertical, it's going up. The burgundy on the bottom, it's inverted, it's going down. But you're still going to pay the same thing, if not more, because the state continues to screw you. Plain and simple. And it's time for y'all to go and ask your state representatives, when are they going to quit shafting you? Because we can keep cutting, but after a while we're not going to have anything left to cut, and you're still going to be paying the same kind of taxes. The state has revenue that they collect every year. They collect sales tax, gas tax, dock stamps, lottery money that they misled us on years ago. Lottery was going to take care of all education. The blue chart shows you that you were misled then. So when are we going to hold the state accountable to honesty like you hold us? We got a problem with state misleading people, and y'all expect us to do all the cutting. We can only cut so low, and then we don't have anything else to cut. So you need to go talk to your state representatives and ask them, when are they going to get into true tax reform and give you tax relief coming out of Tallahassee? Plain and simple.
Well, you know, I find all that very interesting, and I've taken a few notes here, and I'd like to go over them point by point. Commissioner Salter says, I know people don't care. Well, I beg to differ with you, Commissioner Salter.
They don't care why their tax bill has stayed the same. They're just upset that it has not been reduced.
Well, I'll tell you that people do care. And 64% of Florida's population, and anybody that studies politics at all, 50% plus one vote is considered a landslide. 64% is a spanking into next year. Okay? The people have spoken.
This was Amendment 1.
Amendment 1, absolutely.
Which cut the government side of the taxes.
And as I said before before we played that tape, the county is separate from the school board. Hey, you can sit up there and whine about the school board all you want to. They don't have anything to do with your budget. We're talking about the county budget here, and you know, you made your own bed. to be quite honest with you. The governor's put a shot across the bow over 3 years ago. We're looking at your numbers. You continue to take all the property value increases in the form of property taxes. You never give a rollback. You won't even consider it. You've grown the management personnel in your county to huge bloated numbers. And if you don't do something, we're going to step in and do it. Well, they stepped in and did it. Commissioner Salter, you also suggested that you quite possibly will be so short of funding that you'll have to shut the county down. Well, that's a pretty bold statement. I see that you've had plenty of money to run a road through private property to help someone. We've spent $24 million on parks. We've
spent quite a lot on land around Whiting Field.
We've spent millions.
And 5 Points.
And 5 Points. There seems to be all kind of money available, so I think maybe you're being a little theatrical when you say, well, it'll get so bad we have to shut it down. I think that's but he made some additional points there, and I saw a lot of anger in his voice, and he said that it makes him sick what the state does. Well, sometimes one person gets sick and another person gets happy. Well, I'm glad that the state stepped in, because if the state hadn't stepped in, we would be sitting here today having a conversation about probably a 7 or 7.5 mil with no reduction, and them taking some more money off
You're glad the state stepped in.
Absolutely,
and forced them to
100%.
force the local governments to lower revenue intake.
Right. Now,
What he's angry about is that the state cut schools' revenues, cut the amount that they sent to local schools, and then turned around and told schools, "Well, raise your property taxes."
okay.
And that's why our property tax bills are the same.
I certainly may disagree with that too, but I know, and everybody in Santa Rosa County knows that if the state hadn't stepped in, this growth of government would have continued. Now, Commissioner Salter suggests that you all go talk to the governor and your state rep. Well, I talk to my state rep on a regular basis. I thanked him for standing up. It was an unprecedented move by state government to reduce the money that local governments could spend. I think he did a good job. And I also would like to point out too, I don't know if it's the best policy in the world, coming from a commissioner that only won by 1,300 votes, to be in front of a camera threatening the governor and the state rep about you're abusing the folks in this county. They might have a tendency to remember that when you go up there with your hand out asking for something.
Now, do you think state legislators, when they force local governments to cut their revenues, do you think they looked at that and turned around and said, now we can reduce the amount of money we give to schools, and we can force local districts to just raise their property taxes because people's bills are going down and there's a little gap, there's a hole in there now.
And I guess finally, honest to goodness, Commissioner Salter, if I don't think you should be sitting there telling us, the citizens, that we need to go have a talk with them. I think if you have such a problem with your state rep and your governor, by all means, ask the budget director for a little money, and you can put some gas in your car and drive over there and yell at them all you want to. Right now, I think they're doing a good job.
Please alert us so we can bring a camera if you
Absolutely.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you've enjoyed our show this evening. And please don't forget the final budget hearing is September 15th at 6 o'clock p.m. at the County Commission Chambers. That's at the Caroline Street Administrative Complex, just behind McDonald's, and they'll be taking a final vote on all this stuff. Good night.